So how do you turn it on when you need to, right? On demand. Somebody sends you a note, they message you, like they walk into your office, or your living room for that matter, and go, hey, got to have this right now. What do we do about that? How do we even approach that? So I figured this out. When someone asks you for something immediately, it crushes whatever creativity you had in mind, right? Because you have to get it done. You have to start thinking, how much time do I have? And you start like working back, like all the, anybody who's been a program manager or project manager, right? You go to the end, you're like, okay, how do I figure this out? How much time do I have? Do creatives do that? No. Like never, right? We don't do that. We're like, oh, okay, what's the thing? All right, let me think of a bunch of ideas. Can we do this? Yeah, okay. When is it supposed to be done? Oh, that's not gonna work. We need more time. So your creativity can get crushed, right, if you're not careful. We're not gonna let it be crushed anymore. I was a little confused about how to do this at first. So I got asked to do a ton of creative work over the last 10 years I've been in the garage. More than I've done in the entire rest of my career by far. Every day, it's like, hey, Mike, got to design this website. Hey, Mike, got to design the whole garage. Hey, Mike, got to make this sticker. How about that T-shirt? Are we done with that T-shirt yet? Like, I just designed a building. Like, you want me to design a T-shirt now? But yes, they did, as a matter of fact, all the time. So I had to figure out a way to do that. So I thought to myself, there's only, because I like to simplify, there's only 3 parts to this. Super simple. There's the start, the home, right? Like, where do you start from? There's the brilliance, right? Like this great idea that we're going to definitely do something great. And then finally, you're going to make people love it, right? Because ultimately, that's the only thing that matters. Like, we all love our own work, right? Big fans of our own work, right? Right? We're all big fans of our own work. Sometimes takes a little convincing to get other people on board. But in the end, this is exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to get people to love what you've done, so that they turn to their coworker or their friend and go, wow, did you see that? Did you see that new thing? This is awesome. Okay, how do we do that? Very simple. Go as fast as you can, don't look back. Okay, see, you're laughing because you know it's true, right? It is absolutely 100% true. I learned this lesson in a very hard way. By trade, I'm an entrepreneur, right? I've done everything. I've done sales, I've done marketing, I've done design, coding, right? I've stood up on stages, I've swept the floor and packed the boxes. I've done everything you can do in tech. But the thing that I love doing is design. And for anybody who does any kind of design, whether it's music, or writing or dance, like anything creative where you're actually designing something, you tend to want to do your best work, which takes forever, okay? And we don't have time for that. So you got to get over it, right? You have to be willing to let things go. That's the most important part of this whole thing. So starting with creativity, right? How do we get that idea? Anybody? How do you come up with that brilliant idea? So someone says, hey, we gotta design a new website. Let's go. Yeah, you make 1,000 bad ones until you get a good one? Yeah. Have something in your back pocket? Yeah, just make it up. Okay, I'm going to give you, these are all great suggestions, but they're not the right answer. Okay, you want to know the right answer? Yeah. I developed this simple thing, and maybe I stole from somebody, I don't know. Triangle, circle, square. Triangle, circle, square. You hear this as a designer. They teach you this in design school, right? Until you're just ready to explode. They say you have to design the designs. You have to explore. You have to go all over the design space. You have to iterate. You have to try all the different possibilities. I say that's a bunch of crap, because 100% of the time, my first idea is always going to be the best. So I'm telling you, whatever pops into your head first, that is the best idea. Don't go any farther. Yes, if you spend a little time, you can refine it, and maybe you can shave the edge off. It won't be so rough. Your first idea is always the best. Trust me. Got it? You got it? Okay, trust your gut. Data is useless. I'm telling you. Really? Come on. Come on. Are you really going to let data decide something for you? No. You're creative, right? Okay, next part. Okay, so we got the creativity part. Got that? First idea, always the best. How do you be creative? What is the deal with this, right? This on demand, really on demand. You got to get from A to B as fast as possible, right? Because someone asked you to do this on demand, which means right now, I'm going to stand in your office until you finish this. You have to start from the end. You have to imagine that perfect optimal output, right? Whatever the best possible thing is, you have to start there. And then you have to figure out, how do we get back to the point where we can actually make that real? And so what you're going to find is that you're going to go back to the beginning, and you're going to find that you cannot do this incrementally. This drives me crazy. Right? I have lots of Microsoft's customers come in here who are incredibly smart people, have been very successful, but they use a form of what I call incremental innovation, which is not really incremental innovation at all. It's just incremental, right? There's nothing innovative about being incremental. Yes, like it's good for the cash cow, like it helps, fine, but you're not trying to leap forward to that great new thing where you're being brilliant, right? Creative on demand. What you'll find, right, when you're doing this is that at some point when you're moving towards B, there's going to be this thing that you have to leap over. Why are you going to find a way around it? It's easy, because you have to be done, right? You have to be done right now. So we're going to go to the end, to B, right? Because in the end, B is the only thing that matters, right? That's what people asked you to do. They said, hey, we got to be brilliant, which is B, right? Got to be creative, got to go fast. Okay, so just to recap, first idea is always the best. Go to the end, right? Figure out what is the optimal solution. Go do it. Don't care how. Your problem. You got to do it fast, though. Got to do it fast. And then how do you be done? As a creative, how do you let go of your work when you know it's not really perfect? Not everybody's going, yeah, been there. Yeah, been there. Guess what? Too bad. There's always going to be, it can always be better. You can't let that stop you. You got to be done. And so how do you be done? You have to be able to love your own work and know that it was great work and be okay with that. Because if you think it's great work and you love your work, then other people are too. That passion, this is what we learned, the passion makes all the difference. If you are passionate and you know that it was solid work that went in, it turned out great for the amount of time you had, and you can be okay with that. Okay? And it's very simple. Right? So creativity on demand, go with your gut. Don't try to collect too much data. Don't try to get consensus. I'm telling you what works. Okay, really. Leap to the thing that is just the best possible output, but figure out how to get there really fast. Okay, by cutting corners, by taking a little bit of shortcut. And then finally, you just got to love what you've done. You have to be proud of it. You know how when you walk into a meeting and you're sitting there and you present your best idea and they say, do you have any other ideas? Can we see 2 or 3 other choices? You know what I always say? No. No. I literally say, I'm sorry, like that's the best solution. And they look at me like, well, the other person gave us 3 to choose from. I say, no, that was it. So creativity on demand. Thank you very much for coming to Microsoft, for being here today.